I was really intrigued as to how a Rec sequel would work. Like, I didn't see any way that it could be possible. Not only that, I didn't see how it could be any good. The first movie was so scary, and the way it leaves so many questions unanswered for me made it really creepy and intriguing. So I wasn't expecting much out of Rec 2 until I saw many people saying that it is actually a really good sequel. So I went in with a very open mind, expecting that I could either like it or hate it. And all in all, although it's nowhere near as good and as scary as the first film, Rec 2 is still a pretty worthwhile and well executed sequel. The film is set on the same night of the first movie. We follow a GEO team who, with an official from the Ministry of Health, go into the apartment building to find out what happened to the people inside the building and to contain the situation. We find out that the little girl from the previous movie is actually a possessed girl who is the reason for the infection, and the official from the Ministry of Health is actually a priest sent from the Vatican to get a blood sample from the girl. I don't want to spoil too much about this film because there is a lot of things that are revealed that have to do with the story, and many questions from the first film are answered. But for those who have yet to watch the first movie, I don't want to spoil these things because understanding everything makes it less scary than being completely uncertain. Halfway through the film, it switches around for a small section which follows a group of children who manage to work their way into the building through an underground tunnel. I really liked how they switched it up, even if that bit was only for a short period of time. There are many interesting ideas put into the movie, and I think there are a few elements that are really weird and creepy, but there is absolutely no way this film could have been anywhere near as terrifying as the first movie. In that film, you never knew what was happening or what could happen. In this film, you knew what was happening. The only thing that made it tense and a little bit scary was not knowing when a zombie could jump out from around the corner. However, the film has a really well executed pace. There are many times where the film is quite slow, and these scenes are used to build atmosphere as well as to give us explanations of some of the things that are happening. Then it all blasts into this fast, violent scene. The balance between the two is really good, even if it does lean towards the slow scenes a bit too often. Similar to the first movie, it's the last 15 minutes of this film that really steal the show. I'm not going to spoil them, but they are really good. They're not as scary as the first film's finale, but they are definitely exciting and even tie a few loose ends from earlier in the film. What I liked about the film is how they did something completely new. They could have easily just copied the formula of the first film and pretty much just done it all again but in a different setting, but I liked how they made it a proper follow-up to the first film. Sure, it does in a couple places ruin some of the scariest moments in the previous movie by changing what we saw around a bit, but when considering what they could have done with the film, they did a really good job, and for that reason I give Rec 2 8 out of 10.
No cares el cielo, la noche secuestra y ya es